Ah, that's the wrong screen. Ugh. Welcome everybody. Hello. Hello, hello. This is Dicebag, artist, game designer, world builder, and occasional VTuber. We're here drawing more creatures in case you couldn't tell.
Cat with a mouse says, "Sup."
Hello cat, how's it going? We're basically picking up where we left off last time. You may remember this guy. Actually, this isn't where we left off. I was working on that other piece, but I didn't want to start off working on that one because it'll probably burn me out trying to finish it. So we'll wait till later. Yeah. We got our little cultist bean dudes to finish up today. And there's also a bunch of Pokemon shenanigans that we could be talking about. Because boy, they're just getting worse. Which I suppose is good for me. But what's up with you guys in chat, huh? I've been dealing with some car problems recently.
Cat with a mouse
myself.
says, "Got a Discord hello this morning from someone called me Ice the Tiefling. Do you know them?"
Doesn't ring a bell, so no. Not sure who that is.
Festiva says, "Glow glow 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 glow
Glow,
glow
glow,
glow
glow.
glow glow."
Oh no, it's a glowy! How's it going, Festiva? Are you done glowing now? We gotta tweak some of this line art here.
"They are at the gate."
The barbarians. Don't open the gate, bro. It's not worth it. I don't care if the barbarian chicks are hot. Alright. That is better.
Festiva says, "Barbussy."
Right, don't do it. Don't do it.
Cat with a mouse says, "Misspelled the name. Meant to say Misa the Tiefling." Discord says she and I are both part of the Crytures server.
Is that so? It might have been someone who just popped in and hasn't really talked about anything. We got a few of those. Okay, yeah. Mizzy is in the Discord somewhere. I don't think they've said anything in there since joining, though. So, not really familiar with them. Well, let's see. Oh yeah, this week. It's been a odd week. My brakes were starting to make noises a while back, but I kind of wrote it off for a while until it started getting really bad. So I've been trying to drive as little as possible until I could get it taken care of, and we finally did that yesterday. I got all new brake pads, new rotors on my car, and It brakes a lot better. I wasn't even realizing how bad they were until I got to experience it with the new stuff, and I'm like, oh wow, it actually was braking slower before. I didn't think I was in any danger, but perhaps I was, and it was probably right for me to avoid driving as much as possible. So yeah, that was fun. After spending 5 hours in one of my uncle's garages trying to figure out how to replace brakes with my dad, which was kind of nice father-son time. We didn't do much mechanical stuff as a kid. So spend much of the day working on a car with my 70-year-old dad was kind of like nostalgia for a thing I never experienced, to be perfectly honest. So that was nice. And it also sucked. Well, that just means I know a thing or two about fixing my own shit a little better. So I don't have to rely on mechanics and spending a bunch of money on them to do the things. Alright. I'm thinking this guy's fingers are a little goofy. Well, not goofy in the right way. Let's put it that way. That's a little better.
Roman Ansari 2003 says, hello.
Hello there, Roman Ansari. How's it going? We're over here working on some art for my tabletop RPG. It's basically Pokemon D&D. I got some creepy little bean cultist dudes we're finishing up from last time.
Roman Ansari 2003 says, doing okay, trying to finish a poke fusion.
Oh, you're drawing too right now? Let's see. I want these guys to kind of be like a sickly yellowish green here. And we should probably take a look at what the other things I have that these are kind of vaguely based on. Just
Cat
for
with the
reference.
Mouse says, the infamous Baby Barf Green.
Baby Barf Green. Yeah. We'll go with that. The Baby Barf Green. Let's see, where's Creebean at? Alright, so what we see here... Whoops, no, that...
Roman Ansari
Creebean basically has two
2003
colors.
says, it's Ludicolo X Dusk Noir.
Ludicolo and Dust Noir. I could see them being fused. They're kind of like similarly shaped in the general sense. So these guys should probably have like a second color.
Cat with a Mouse says, try a Day of the Dead concept for your fusion.
Day of the Dead? I mean, it would probably come out looking kind of like that anyways, right? The real question is, do we want to make the face more yellow? Or do we want to make the body more yellow?
Cat with a Mouse says, Ludicolo is famous for its junky dancing body.
Let's make him a little more yellowy. And Creebean has like the yellow, straight up just yellow eyes. So should we maybe just do the same thing for this guy?
Cat with a Mouse says, I'd reverse that. Skin color is too close to Creebean.
It's not really that close at all. He's a lot darker and more like olive colored. Besides that, we wanted to kind of match the Sallow King, which is going to be quite yellowish. In fact, I think maybe we should make the yellowish part more green to kind of differentiate him. I really wish Patron would have worked on that one first, so we could get him out of the way. But alas, we got the
Festiva says, 9 lawyers rapidly approaching your location.
What was that, Geronimo? 9 Velo lawyers? What the hell are you saying? That's not how you pronounce that word. This robot, man, he always be saying shit wrong. Oh no, wait, that's because you misspelled it. Good job, Festiva. You confused Geronimo. Also, I'm a little low on the screen here. Let me move up so the Tomeboys can be seen. Thanks, Dicebag. We was a little sad having our chins cut off like that. Don't worry about it, guys. I never use you, so you know, it's the least I can do.
Mouse says, Festiva said, warning, Nintendo lawyers are rapidly approaching your location.
There we go. Yeah, Nintendo's been doing some stupid shit recently, haven't they? Which is something to talk about. I actually took a good look at the patent that they filed.
Says CEO Link says, I gotta pee. Off the ground. What did you think I meant? LOL.
Hello there, ZZ. Welcome back. How's it going? And yes, we've got multiple P's here. We got you know what? He's basically like 4 Creebeans in a trench coat.
Festiva says,
Right?
Nintendo.
1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe that's a funny, creepy little thing. Like if you peel the thing back, it's just like more heads with faces. But speaking of Nintendo, let's see. Where's that thing? Ah, dang it, it's not in my bookmarks.
Festiva says, Oh no Nintendo Senpai, I'm stuck making a game. Roman Ansari 2003 says, I hate Pal World so much.
Hate Pal World? I'm starting to hate Pokemon myself. Look at this. This is what they're patenting. Like a flowchart. Now let's see. Here's the part I'm interested in here.
Cat with a Mouse says, creature taming games should not make you kill the creatures.
Well, you don't have to. You see that? Throwing motion instruction.
Poketopia looks cool.
Throwing motion instruction. They patented this whole flowchart. Also, motion of throwing ball towards front. So basically, Nintendo did this whole patent, but it's exclusively applicable to using ball-like objects and throwing them. Like, okay, Nintendo. Whatever. It shouldn't be a thing in the first place. Whoever was, like, reviewing this patent, I don't know, I think they got bribed or some shit.
Look, you kill creatures in Pokemon, they just color it in funny words.
You don't
Roman Ansari
kill the
2003
creatures, you
says,
just knock them out.
Pal World ruined the reputation of monster collectors by making people believe being uncreative is smart because being creative is so hard.
I wouldn't even say they're particularly uncreative.
Festiva says, who believes that?
The thing is, Pokemon's not even going after Pal World for anything like...
Says CEO Ling says,
the designs or anything.
Pal World looks like Team Your Pokemon. I don't think they have any right to sue, but Pal World doesn't have my support either.
They'd have my support exclusively because freaking Pokemon is doing shady shit in their way of going after them. They have their IP, which Pal World was savvy enough to not make anything too derivative of. So they couldn't go after them for that. So instead of just like letting it fizzle out, Pokemon decided to be a bitch and try to ruin it for everybody. So I hope they fail. Also, Pokemon has been on a downward spiral for a long time, and the new games are not really looking like they're gonna reverse that trend.
Roman Ansari 2003 says, while I don't like the patents from Nintendo/Pokemon Company, we shouldn't ignore how Pocket Pair is rage baiting to Pokemon. Cat with a Mouse says, goes to show you that the Pokemon Company needs new management. The King 616 says,
yeah.
Cheap viewers on streambo.com.
Oh, hello, we're getting cheap viewers. We're getting cheap viewers already.
$30 DLC for a game not out yet.
Oh man, we're even getting started on that, huh? We were just talking about the patent, now we're even on that. Okay, well, I got this cheddar. Mods, ban the cheddar. Oh wait, I don't have any mods here. That means
by the power of Grayskull,
ban him. There we go.
Festiva says, if Pokemon is getting rage baited by Pal World existing, they just need to learn how to cope properly. Cat with a Mouse
What is
says,
going on here? Oh, right.
cheap viewers from the Ghost of Elvis. I don't believe it. Roman Ansari 2003 says, Festivo, believe me, many who unironically say designing original mons is super hard, like no joke. Says CEO Ling says, is this the seconded evolution or third?
This is the base form. This is what the guy comes out looking like from the pod. Or whatever it is these guys come out of. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. We're gonna call them eggs no matter what, because it's just mechanically easier.
Festiva says, it's so hard, Pokemon made a trash bag. Pokemon don't pretend people have never shit on Pokemon for being uncreative as well.
I mean, which is less creative, the trash bag Pokemon or the literal blobs of sludge from Gen 1? I would suggest that even the trash bag Pokemon actually have interesting design elements to them. Muck and Grimer are just blobs of sludge. But yeah, Pokemon hasn't exactly been super
Cat with a Mouse says, trash bag is more creative than living blobs.
They haven't exactly been super creative with their designs for a long time.
Festiva
or
says,
ever, really.
Gulpin D's.
You guys remember the seal Pokemon called Seal? That's just a seal? Wait, am I supposed to say gulping these nuts there? Is that the joke?
Festiva says, Ekans is just snake backwards.
Not only is Ekans just snake backwards, it's literally just a snake.
Cat with a Mouse says, it was Gen 1. You could get away with it back then.
That's true, there wasn't as much to riff off of. Everything's more creative when you don't have a bunch of pre-existing material
Roman
in the
Ansari
same
2003
genre.
says, also there are so many cool and unique monster collectors who people deliberately ignore because it's a Pokemon copy. But now Pal World gets popular because of that same reason, but want to shit on Pokemon, for many justified reasons, but come on, take a better collector.
I think people got into Power World because it's Pokemon with guns, mostly.
Says CEO Ling says, well, I like Pokemon-based inanimate objects mainly because Pokemon weren't just animals. Heck, Pokemon barely were animals at first.
Yeah.
Festiva says, because Pal World has more DNA from Arc and survival games, it is more base builder than Master Battler game.
Yeah, that's generally the gist of it, I think.
Roman Ansari 2003 says, Festiva, that's true too.
I don't think people who like Power World really like it specifically because it's a monster collector. I think it's the combination of things. I played it for a good while, but those kinds of games kinda bore me fairly quickly. Usually you end up running out of, you run out of good things to do in short order.
Cat with a Mouse says, we're thin. Roman Ansari 2003 says. Also, I can't trust Pocket Pair with how the CEO loves being uncreative and AI art. Festiva says. Getting more also means you build your base better, can produce more, can set up new locations and form a better network of places for different things. Festiva says. Where is the AI? Oh shaman, wave your stick and show me the AI.
Yeah, I don't think any AI was used in PAL World that I can see. I mean, maybe the CEO has said something about it, but in that game I don't specifically think it exists.
Festiva not in PAL World, but he did tweets how he likes it.
Yeah. From a CEO perspective, I can definitely see why. Hell, I use some AI generation to help me in some ways, but usually not
Roman Ansari
away from the handcrafting
says,
stuff.
But I still will be cautious about that.
I'm very selective in my
Festiva says.
Critiques and praise of AI.
It's about how you use it. They makes it evil. Hard cope.
Here, let me show you what I was doing with how I've been using AI in this thing. We take the things that I've actually drawn by my own hand, and we can use AI to animate them a little bit. Oh, it only does one loop. Okay, come on. Stop that. Loop. There we go.
Cat with a mouse says. AI created content can be impressive, but there still must be a human presence. For the sake of consistency.
Yeah.
Says CEO Ling says. Looks alright.
It took quite a few tries to get it to do what I wanted to. Let's get rid of that. But yeah, I'll use those for like
Roman
promotional
Ansari
videos and shit.
2003 says. Festiva the legs look off. Festiva says. It's not art, but I don't think what I do is art either, so I am not bothered. Festiva says. What legs? Cat with a mouse says. What looked weird to me was the connection/stomach area. Roman Ansari 2003
That's probably because
says,
it is weird.
Didn't mean to answer, I mean THR animation.
You're gonna get some wonkiness, especially with something like that where, like, it's never seen one of those things before. The AI has no freaking idea what this wooden dude in armor is, or how it's supposed to move, or the anatomy of the thing. So that's something else you have to contend with. Ironically, the more realistic you get with your stuff that you feed to the AI, the better it seems to handle it. Which means to me, with my stylized weirdo monsters, are kinda left doing a bunch of reruns trying to get it to vaguely get what it's supposed to be. But still, it saves a lot of time compared to like actually rigging something in live 2D and animating it that way. Trust me, I made my freaking model by hand. That's a pain in the ass.
Roman Ansari 2003 says. Probably because it takes real pictures as reference.
Yeah, no, that's the problem, is that if something doesn't exist, it doesn't have a reference to like go off of.
Says CEO Ling says. It looks like something that could have been riged, but that still takes time.
Yeah, exactly. I absolutely could have rigged it. However, that would have taken many hours. And this is just for like a several second clip, so it's not really worth it if I was doing it all by hand. Especially when it's just like a short little thing that I used in a video about the creature type. So TLDR, I like using AI when it actually makes things more efficient, rather than just doing the entire thing myself, or itself.
Cat with a mouse says. Most Pokemon can be made realistic by AI and they look fantastic. Others look just plain cursed.
I mean, that's just a feature of Pokemon that are realistic looking. I feel like that happens no matter what, whether it's done by AI or by human hands. Some of them just are not made to be realistic. Let's give this guy one more pass on the overlay and give him some like serious highlights. Then we can move on to the next guy.
Says CEO Ling says. Nailing the Pokemon shading.
I'll take your word for it. There's always something that I'm like, this doesn't look right. But, outside observers usually don't have my prejudices for how that's supposed to look, so I don't worry about it too much. Alright. Let's color this line art. Actually, let's make it a little more green and less dark. Yeah. That's what these guys will sound like. Actually, these are the youngest forms, so they'd probably be like more like. Should we do something to the eyes, maybe? I don't know, I feel like leaving them simple is probably the best way to go. What if we remove the shading from these? Whoops, we don't need that big of a brush.
Cat with a mouse says. Insert the sound of Ahmed the dead terrorist growling.
I know what you're referencing. But not well enough to know exactly what the sound you're referring to is. I was never into that dude's routines. What was his name? Jeff Dunham or something? Is that the guy?
Cat with a mouse says. Yep.
Yeah. Never really could get into the whole, like, ventriloquist humor thing. Alright, next dude. And where is the line art? Here we go. Oh no, wait! It's opening up Photoshop, dang it. We don't need Photoshop, get out of here. There we go. Alright. I don't think there's much I need to do on this guy, really. Maybe clean up some of this stuff. Oop. Gotta put all my brushes back to their default setting. Clean up some of these curves. Well, let's see. I think that's about all we really need on this guy. We could probably take this whole middle section and kind of squish it up a little bit. All right.
Cat with a mouse says, just posted a YouTube clip in general. The growling bit starts 24 seconds in.
Oh, okay. Let's hear this.
Good evening, Ahmed. Good evening. Not really, no. And no?
That's
really,
what we're
no.
talking about. Yeah, I guess that's pretty close to what I was thinking. Alright, so this guy.
Cat with a mouse says. Something like that.
Alright, we need to compare Creebean with the other things. I think they got darker as they go. Okay, they got like a third layer. So the actual vine body part is darker, but the rest of it is the same. So I'll just take this and we'll play around with it. I'm thinking maybe the arms will be a slightly different color. And that'll be how we make it a little different. Let's kind of make it like in between the two extremes. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe we should just go straight up yellow with the arms. Let's try it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Whoops. What do y'all think?
Adam says. Does this one have any relation to Creebean?
This one is like nigga Creebean. Dark green or yellow? Dark green or yellow?
Cat with a mouse says. Trio of greens looks good.
Trio of greens looks good. It's kind of what I was leaning towards. Dale's over in our private Discord complaining about the UI. Dale, come on this. Get in the chat and talk to me. Let's see. And we'll just take the yellow straight out of that.
Adam says. Maybe a yellow-green and add some wrinkles.
Wrinkles? I don't want the design to get too complex here. Let's see if we could yellow this up a tad. Oh, how about that? It almost looks like roots when you do that. I kind of like that. I keep forgetting that I have a hand on my screen. And when I hover over the thing, you guys can't see anything.
Adam says. Yup.
Alright. Let's go with this. And let's see. I have the dark of the mouth. Oh, and it's got gaps. We love gaps.
Cat with a mouse says. Approved, stamp it and send it.
It sounds like you just want me to get on to finishing these. We've got like a whole 3 hours that we usually go on these streams. We could take our time, guys. We can take our time. We could shoot the shit and talk about things. And I could go as slow as I want. I only have these two and then the one that I was working on last time. And then I'm going to be out of things to draw. I'll have to actually think of something new. I'll have to expend creative juices. How many of y'all have seen the new stuff they put out this week for the next Pokemon game? Speaking of. I got some bullshit. Let's see, multiplier. Oh yeah, clipping. We're going a little crazy with the lighting on this guy, but that's okay. He's supposed to look creepy and dark. Let's see, let's get some of this other Pokemon stuff up for discussion. Oh, there's not a picture I can just copy and paste real easily.
Cat with a Mouse says, some of the new Mega designs weren't that bad. Still hate the Mega Victreebel and Malamar.
Malamar looks pretty stupid, yes. Not a fan. Let's see if there's a oh, dang it, they have their stuff spread over so much different stuff. They got Pokemon stuff on the Nintendo page, they got Pokemon stuff on the Pokemon page. Can't find where each thingamajig actually is.
Cat with a Mouse says, Mega Dragonite is okay but also not that great.
Yeah, not super impressed with most of the Mega designs so far. There we have it. Like, these generally look alright. Although, I think the Mega Delphox is not going to be as well liked with the furry types as the previous ones. This one, Chestnut doesn't look all that different in the Mega form. It's just kind of like they redesigned it slightly rather than gave it an upgrade. And kind of the same goes for Greninja, really. What, it's got a big shuriken? Okay. It already had that as an attack before. Main thing though is that they're freaking rewards for ranked battles. Online. So I actually have to play the competitive part of the game to get them.
Cat with a Mouse says, Mega Delphox is the best of the 3 starters. Just needs some tweaks.
It's definitely got the most going on compared to the previous design. people are big mad that you have to actually play the competitive part to get these. I feel like that's a big example of how they shouldn't be doing things anyways. Like last time we were talking a bit about the paid, not the live service game kind of model. And it seems like Pokemon is trying to do like the worst aspects of it these days. Because I am not completely against that kind of thing, but there's a certain limit.
Through the shadows we tread with care. Conjurers unite, we're well aware. In the heart of them all lies grim despair.
And also in a lot of ways, like tying things to the whole combat stuff in Pokemon is just generally not that fun because the combat's not fun. Pokemon could be fixed by like actually having interesting combat. Although I guess competitive is a little more in-depth, but not like in a good way. It's more like in a metagame way. Like playing competitive Pokemon battles doesn't feel like you're playing the game the way it's intended.
They're just begging for money now. Pokemon can get my money when they throw off Nintendo's boot.
Well, Pokemon is 1/3 owned by Nintendo, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
Silent whispers from the ancient past.
Yeah, no, part of their problem is just how the ownership of the game, the franchise itself, is like split between different parties. And two of those parties don't really care about the games. They're just in it to make money off of the franchise. So Game Freak is kinda outnumbered when it comes to like actually making interesting Pokemon games. Which really sucks by my reckoning because the games are the main thing I was interested in. Didn't really care about the anime and all that shit. And the card game's not all that great either.
The OG through XYZ animes, and the GBC/GBA games was my era.
Yeah, I guess my main problem with Pokemon is just like outside. Well, you know, not even outside. I was gonna say like outside of the video games, but no, even the video games are subject to this now, but they're all just kinda slop. Made to sell merchandise. They're all commercials for the merchandise. The games just serve as a vehicle to inject new creature designs to sell more plushies and other things. And new Pokemon cards, because a lot of people don't even play the game that collect Pokemon cards because the game actually sucks. And also, the battles in the video games actually suck.
Cat with a Mouse says, at least, for a while, the anime was just an alternate take on the franchise. Not just a marketing tool.
I've heard that the manga is actually, like, recognizably different compared to all the other stuff. Although I was never really privy to it. I think I saw some, like, in the very early days. I think I saw some of the manga that was going around, but I never kept up with it.
Cat with a Mouse says, manga is definitely more nuts.
Alright. I got this boy. All colored up. Ah, not that. Also, it just feels like every new game is kind of one step forward, two steps back. The kind of Pokemon games I dreamed of having as a kid, like, aren't even, like, on the table. I was hoping at this point, when I'm a freaking old man, at least there would be, like, a Pokemon game where you could just go to all the previous areas and explore them all as the same character. Catch the old Pokemon in their original habitats. But no, we don't get that. We don't get cool things. That's why we're making Crytures.
Cat with a Mouse says, some fan games try to do that, but the available hardware can only do so much.
I don't think it's a hardware problem these days. Especially given, like, how, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, let's be frank, it's not like the Pokemon games have, like, massive file sizes for their installations. I'm pretty sure plenty of Switch games are much larger than they are as is. Plus, they could reuse a lot of assets, and I don't think anybody would care if the scope of the game was large enough. And That's just a thing that's like going on across the entire industry. All the games are getting smaller, but not in the right way. Like even with the Elder Scrolls and like Skyrim, their latest thing, even back as far as then, Skyrim is a lot smaller than the previous Elder Scrolls regions. And it's only gotten smaller in these kinds of big games. But the textures, man, the textures, oh man, the textures, we can see every pore on the character's face. We got lighting, we got this dynamic lighting that will change based on like the sweat that your character is generating. Oh wow. And nobody freaking wants or needs that shit. I hate it. I hate it so much. You don't like the modern games. I'm not sure what it is either, because they're always complaining that games are like too expensive and we have to increase the price because games are getting more expensive to make, and it's like,
Cat with a mouse
bitch,
says,
you keep adding stuff
some
nobody
Pokemon
wants.
fan games can be as big as 5 gigabytes.
That's pretty tame. $5 gigs. Let me open up Steam. Let me look at the sizes of some of these games. Repo is 1 gigabyte, and that's just proc-gen stuff reused over and over. It's just a straight-up indie game. TCG Card Shop Simulator, 4.5 gigs. What's Schedule 1 take up? Schedule 1 is over 7 gigs. Deep Rock Galactic is surprisingly only 3.5 gigs. So yeah, 5 gigs? That's like nothing today. I should look up an actual large game. When was the last time I bought a large game? That's the... That's the real question. Path of Exile, let's see that one. Oh, it's not installed, so I'll have to go and look. Path of Exile is almost 50 gigs. And that's not even like a AAA game, that's just a smaller studio. So yeah, I don't think file size is the thing that's holding them back. I think they're doing it deliberately because if people keep buying a new base game every 2 or 3 years for like the full price, What incentive do they have to make a game that has like all of the things when they could just like reuse the same exact thing and people just lap it up over and over year after year? Let's see. Where is the other thing I was working on? There we go. Alright. This looks better than I remember. We got pretty far last time, but I kinda, I quit towards the end because I didn't want to do the entire background and all the finishing details. So I left that for next time.
Could be more expensive to make the physical copies of the game. Shouldn't be that much more expensive to release the same amount of content just digitally.
You know what? Let's look up the latest Zelda game. Where's my search bar? Tears of the Kingdom file size. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom will eat up a ton of storage on your Switch. Says this article from PC Mag, whatever that is.
Cat with a Mouse says. PC Magazine is one of the big names.
Let's see, according to this thing, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet were 7 gigs each. Breath of the Wild was 14 gigs. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was 14 gigs. It doesn't seem to actually say how much Tears of the Kingdom was. $16 gigs? That's what I'm seeing at the first thing on Reddit.
Cat with a Mouse says. Probably because Breath of the Wild was more popular than Tears of the Kingdom.
Either way, if sticking to the Switch hardware is the problem, maybe they shouldn't stick to their what's the word? How do you say that? Proprietary? That's the word. They're proprietary systems for every single freaking thing. Because none of those file sizes are a problem on the PC. And yes, that's another thing. I expected Pokemon wouldn't have stuck in the handheld genre the entire lifespan
Cat
of
with a
it.
Mouse says. Or a PS5, given the right storage size.
Or really anything. Anything at all. Let's see. And the thing is, I feel like Pokemon would be ripe for having a larger type of game just because of how it used to focus so much on like exploration and stuff. But it feels like that's kind of been thrown out the window as well with a lot of other stuff. Despite having games that are like more open world than previously, they feel less open. Like, you're never discovering something new in these games. Everything's always just like, oh yeah, this is a thing. This is a thing, that's how we do the thing, and it's always been done this way, and ha. Hey there, newbie, you're the most recent guy to do the thing that we've all done. Am I the only one who's had that sense?
Cat with a Mouse says, badge challenge is important, but it should also promote exploration, like how the side quests do. Link says, I've received 100 messages today with Rest Ream chat.
Yeah, like, I feel like all the post-game content was a big factor in that. Like, and that's one of the things they've been really slacking off on. Like, after you did the whole gym thing, there was all kinds of secrets and shit that you could go out and explore and find, and now it's just like, eh. I guess it doesn't really help that all that stuff is like just kind of put out online these days. Any kind of secrets they throw in there are just basically doomed to be discovered very early on. If they don't just flat out promote it in their trailers and stuff.
Cat with a Mouse says, I don't about spoilers. I just care about the plot, interface, and overall mechanics.
Yeah, but if you know about all the stuff in the post-game ahead of time, then that impacts the sense of discovery and exploration. You're not really exploring much when you already know what's out there and you're just going out to find it for yourself. Doing what they said on some game FAQ or whatever. Yo, we should probably have some light in the background as well.
Conjurers bold with their robes of red to track the spider swift and sly.
Let's take the torch here.
Watched with a hidden eye. Oh, woe betide the hunted prey when
I'll kind of paint this in.
where the wild beasts play. The conjurer
where it was before.
Cat with a Mouse says, it's like a legend. Knowing of it and experiencing it are two different things.
This is not like a legend, because the legend could you don't even know it's if it's there or not. When you got people telling you, okay, the thingamajig, the alternate legendary, the mythic, or whatever they like to call it, that thing's over here and you have to do these things in order to unlock it and all that, like, there's not a question of whether that works. You just know that it does. Back in my day, we clicked on the truck to see if it would spawn Mew.
Cat with a Mouse says, shrug.
Wounded pride and the fading night. The conjurers knew they'd lost the fight. In retreat they ran through the woodland path from the rage of the swarm and its caterpillar wrath.
I guess this is why I'm a bigger advocate of using like procedurally generated stuff in games. Even if like you know there's a thing, like you have to discover it within your own game. When there's proc gen involved. And also it's also part of the reasoning why I'm designing Crytures the way it is. That, and so Dungeon Masters don't have to deal with as much prep time. They can just kind of pull stuff out and run things more on the fly. And ultimately, we'll basically have like whole campaigns that are basically strings of procedurally generated stuff that you can just adapt to what's happening in your specific campaign. And all you'll have to do as a dungeon master is get the materials ready for play and actually throw a little flavor on top of the encounters and stuff like that. Alright, I think that'll work for now. Oh wait, the actual floor kind of needs more going on. Let's put some shit in here. I've been thinking about things I could do for creatures that people might actually want to pay for in the meantime of the game actually being released. Kinda hard to come up with ideas for that. Not really sure what people would be interested in, or even if I have enough of a base to really get any kind of traction on it. I've been thinking like maybe reference cards for creatures or something might be a good thing to put out. I feel like stuff that would actually be useful in the game is probably going to do better than just straight up merch. So if any of you all have ideas about what we could do with that, I'm all ears. Like what kind of accessories or game stuff would be useful for actually playing creatures. Character sheets maybe, like physical character sheets. Shrug. Also just kicked around the idea of making stickers. That seems to be a thing people do. At least that's something a lot of artists do in like their Patreons and stuff. First, if we're talking about like tabletop RPG creators, usually they're making like adventures and shit like that. But we gotta finish the game before we do any of that. Then it's just a given. I guess it's just I have to get off my ass and actually finish the game here. No more lollygagging. About time I actually release something. I really need to make a list of the things I need to finish before I can actually put something out. I still have a bunch of creatures that don't have full descriptions. That's something I keep forgetting to work on. And it needs to be done. Maybe we should do some of that after I finish this thing up on the stream. while I'm actually thinking about it. We should have plenty of time. Let's see, we need to do some work on this dude's face before we call it done though. Also, I should probably be more choosy about the actual shading color choices I use. I don't think it looks too bad right now. Maybe like the wood colors are a little off. But for everything else, it seems like the blue is working out. Oh yeah, we're gonna need something a little more, something a little stronger than the overlay for this stuff.
Chained by stone, the tomb unfurls, whispers deep from forgotten worlds.
All right.
Hands of power, old and grim, secrets stir in the shadows him. Scrolls unravel, time
Well, let's throw some coloring on the line art. Not just the highlights, the actual line art coloring.
man's ambition, a flame untamed. In the dark, their sins are claimed. The work of man, their pride, their bane. Crafting gods through skill and pain. Machines awaken, their hearts beat black. From dust they rise, they must attack.
That should be okay. Maybe could go a little bit lighter.
Crafting gods through skill and pain.
Yeah, there we go.
Hearts beat black. From dust they rise, they must attack. Years that groan, the pulse of might. Furnaces blaze in eternal night. Power forged, yet hearts are damned. This ancient curse, the work of man. Blinded by their bold desire, mortals sought to harness fire.
We are officially in the tedious part of the drawing. This is why God created giant brushes. And we gotta do some on the face too. Can't just leave that black. You know what, I should probably throw some actual shading on the binding crystal too. Let's get this here. And I think the brown outline worked better there. We'll keep that. This we want to blue up though. I think that's actually looking all right. I am gonna kind of thicken up the highlight over here though. And we'll do the same on his face. Usually I don't get this in-depth on the highlights. I think it's actually one of the things that's kind of been holding the artwork back a little bit. That's one thing that's actually been kind of bugging me. I feel like I've been stagnating in terms of like the art skills side of things. Maybe it's just because I decided on the style for the game so early on, and I've just kind of been refining that exclusively. But it feels like I should be doing more with the art than what I currently am. Let's see, I do want to tweak the coloring on these things though. Let's see. Let's pull out our tonal correction here and see if we can find a better color for the shadows. I think this might be as good as it's gonna get, using this method at least. Let's try a little something different. I'm gonna save this right now before I mess it up more than it already is. Thinking maybe we should add some texture to the actual crate itself. Probably should have done this on a completely different layer so I didn't have to worry about not messing up the stuff that's already there. But screw it, we ball! Oh yeah, here too.
Cat with a Mouse says, been lurking for the past while. Working on my homebrew cleric subclass for my D&D game.
Homebrew cleric, eh? What kind of cleric would that be? Alright, you know what? That looks better. I'm glad I did that.
Cat with a Mouse says, balance domain is basically themed around karma or good vs evil.
Hmm. So what, if good things are happening, that means your cleric has to go out of his way to do something bad? To balance things out?
Cat with a Mouse says, more like changing things to improve the cosmic scales.
Uh-huh. Alright, I think we're about done with this thing. What do we think? Does this look done to you? I'm looking at it on my other screen and I think it's working out. Characters stand out
Cat
pretty
with a Mouse
nicely.
says, looks good to me.
Hell yeah. Wait a second here. Missed a little bit of the line art on the sleeve.
Cat with a Mouse says, think the Pitrodon might go blind if he keeps staring into that torch.
I mean, maybe he's already blind. What's he looking at anyways? There we go. Now he is kawaii. We're not gonna keep that. Petrodons do not blush. They are rocks. Alright. Let's save this. Then I'll actually do some work on the actual freaking game. Hauling ores already exists. Yes, I know, that's why I'm overriding it. I wonder if we can animate this one any well. Any well? What? How would you say that? Any good? That's not correct. Let's open up Pixverse. And see what we can do with it real quick.
Cat with a mouse says, let's see if we can animate this thing at all.
That's the question. Will the AI be able to understand how this thing moves? Oh, hello. Why do I have so few credits? This may not be worth trying here. Can probably only get like one little generation in. Let's see.
Cat with a mouse says, its legs do look similar to those of a turtle.
Yeah, he's kind of lizard-bodied. At least that was the intention. Let's see. There it is, hauling ores. Five seconds. Let's see. What can we say about this? The stone creature and the man are walking through the tunnel. Background is moving in parallax with their movement. I only got one chance at this, so let's hope it pops out something useful. Otherwise, we'll have to either buy a subscription to this place or use my own local generator, which is not as good and much slower. Wait, we ain't doing that on the stream. We ain't sitting here for 20 minutes while we risk crashing my PC on stream. Though the animation generator I've been using does not seem to be using as much of the GPU as I expect.
At least you saved everything, right?
You know what? It's not bad. It's wonky, it's a little goofy, but it's surprisingly okay. Let's save it. And we'll show it on the screen right here. Let's see, where is the folder I put these things in? Animations, there we go. Let's see, where is it? There it is. We gotta make it loop. It doesn't loop automatically. It's not quite right, but it does the gist correctly. It gives him little toes that he's not supposed to have. And Peter won't shut up. He's just talking the entire time. I don't know why it did that.
Cat with a mouse says. At least it looks like he's saying come on Petrodon. Let's keep moving.
Yeah, kinda. Let's see. Can we slow it down? Sometimes these things just move a little too fast. Movement looks a little better at 80%. Of course, the legs are still a little awkward. It does pretty well with these very simple walking animations, like with the Chevalog one. Once I figured out the formula of telling it, like they're walking forward and the background is moving in parallax, it kind of gets the gist of it better than what I was trying to do at the beginning. Yeah, that's cool. That's enough of that, though. Get rid of that. Alright. Let's open up Google Docs. And we will write up some entries for Crytures on stream here. I got a big 44-page Google Doc that's just full of notes. And I fill up whenever I need to write something that isn't specifically organized. Looks like I was working on Twumps last time. I actually got like their entire thing written up here. Still need to add it to the website though. I need to get on that. Let's see, where is...
Cat with a mouse says. When you're finished developing this thing, you'll have a game Bible.
Alright, Twump. Unlike most creatures, Twumps rarely subsist on hunting and foraging sub-creatures to eat. Instead, these walking trees gain their energy and nutrients through the same methods as plants. During the day, they seek out clearings where the sun shines through the forest canopy and bask in the sunlight while playing. At night, Twumps hunker down and bury their legs in moist soil, absorbing the nutrients in the soil as they sleep. This is not to say that they are docile, however, as they can be highly anxious and aggressive towards perceived threats. Twumps are built for melee combat, and their ability to both absorb and deliver damage should not be underestimated. Their first move is to charge in as a wall of bodies, throwing a barrage of attacks meant to inflict debilitating effects on their foes. They then quickly follow up by spending stamina to dole out greater amounts of damage. That's what we're working off. Let's see, what's the next one? Twinber? I better pull up his stats and whatnot so we can get a better idea of what we're looking at. Also, let's reposition myself a little bit. I'm kind of leaning off to one side. Ah! I'm scrolling myself to a tiny degree. Now let's put the guy up on screen so we can have a little reference of what I'm talking about. And he's giant. As usual. Oh no, he's squished. There we go, this guy.
Cat with a mouse says, having some difficulty with enlarge/reduce.
My pictures are always way bigger than the screen dimensions. I like my big canvas sizes here. Let's see, now let's pull up ChatGPT and ask it what we could change in the TWUMP line for Twimber. Get some ideas going. Alright, let's tell it. Here's what I decided for TWUMP. Use this information to write some ideas for its metamorphosis. Twinbur, who has a smaller second head. Also, I should probably give it more direction than that because it has a tendency to just be like, oh, it's like TWUMP, but bigger. Come up with ideas that involve new behaviors, not just expansions on TWUMP's behavior. Let's see what it pops out. Usually it'll come up with like a big long list and I'll pick like a couple things out there and kind of play off of that. Twinbur's second head sometimes disagrees with the first on where to bask or feed, causing it to shuffle awkwardly between locations or stand in half shade, half sunlight. The smaller head specializes in rooting through soil, nibbling fungi and minerals, while the larger head focuses on photosynthesis. Let's see, nesting. Instead of simply burying its legs at night, like TWUMPs, Twinburs weave their heavy arms together at the undergrowth, making semi-permanent bed that holds both. That's just unnecessary bullshit. Smaller head will stay watchful while the larger one sleeps. That's something I actually thought about including.
If Dicebag and ChatGPT had a baby. What a cursed thought.
That's Geronimo. That's just Geronimo. Let's see, defense mechanisms. The two heads can coordinate feints in combat, one snapping forward or flying leaves to distract while the other delivers a true strike. In stressful moments, the smaller head emits a high-pitched squeal, starting with letters. Yeah, that would be a feature. We're not gonna add that. Twin birds are often seen bickering with themselves, tugging on branches or chasing down their own second head in circles. That would probably be something like more involved for the metamorphosis. The final metamorphosis. Let's see, let's put him up here too. Oh, he's really big. This guy's got like the fully developed second head, not just a sleepy little guy. Let's put him behind me if I can find where I am on the layout. There we go. So yeah, I could see these guys being like argumentative with each other. But this dude who's just like a main thing with a little sleepy buddy, probably not gonna be their thing. Let's see, packs of twin birds develop complex duets where each head in the group will chime in with rhythmic rustling of leaves, producing a chorus that may serve as both bonding and intimidation. That might be interesting. The smaller heads often gossip amongst each other. Ah, they're too sleepy for gossip. Let's see, twin birds are more likely than trumps to linger near water sources as the smaller head seems fascinated by ripples and reflections. They sometimes act as accidental gardeners when the smaller head digs or pulls. The head's not doing that much, buddy. The larger head may attempt alliances with plant-type creatures while the smaller head startles or antagonizes them by tugging on their leaves. Some beast creatures avoid twin birds because their constant self-disputes. Yeah, nah. I think the main feature of discussion will probably be the second head staying alert while the first one sleeps, and vice versa. It's not coming up with a whole lot else that's fitting or interesting. Let's see. When twumps morph into twin birds, they develop a second head. A second leafy head. While this head is mostly dormant, it does come awake at night while the main head is still sleeping. You know what? We could
Adam says,
borrow
do
like
the two heads ever compete for dominance?
I mean, for these guys, they probably would. For these guys that we're working on right now, like I said, the little head is probably too sleepy and small-brained to really do much of his own. I am kind of liking like the song things that it mentioned before. Packs of twin birds develop complex duets. What if when the second head wakes up, it like sings, like it hums like some kind of lullaby or something? Like it's bored and that's the only thing it can think to do is they kind of hum together. Anyways, this makes Twinber, not Twimber. Alert during its entire sleep cycle. So nocturnal predators have learned to leave them alone. Even during rest. While awake, the second heads have been known to hum soothing
Adam says,
tunes.
what happens if the smaller head is removed? Does the entire cryoder dissolve or does it regrow?
It would probably regrow, I'd imagine. It's probably not important to the actual functioning of the entire creature. Let's see, they've been known to hum soothing tunes.
Cat with a mouse says,
Presumably out
smaller
of
head just
boredom.
becomes a twump.
Presumably out of boredom, or to help their counterparts sleep more soundly. In the presence of humans or other creatures, twinbers are more confrontational than their younger kin. And have no hesitation in attacking possible threats to their little buddies. Let's see, I feel like there was another feature I added to Twumps, but I'm not sure. Okay, they've just got hard-headed and sunbathing. That is the same for all of the guys, it seems. I think with Twinbur, we might actually add a special feature where, like, it has two natures. Like, when he morphs into his final stage, you'd roll for a second nature, and that will be, like, what his second head is like. Which might be more of a drawback than anything, but at the very least, I think it'll be interesting. And at that point, you pretty much got as much affinity in between them as you're gonna need. Let's see, what are their combat abilities like? Take a look at their classes. We got Tree, we got Brawler, and we've got Leaf. See, it looks like the Tree class gets a little more tough and defender-like at this point. Brawlers get the body slam, which stuns the target and empowers the user. Let's see, the Leaf one gets Armored Frond, which regains health and increases defenses. So that kind of works well into their theme of protecting their little buddies. So we'll work that into their combat descriptions here. Let's see.
Adam says, from the Google's AI, out of context Tolkien's inspiration, the concept of Ents came from Tolkien's profound love for trees and his desire to see trees participate in war.
That makes me wonder, like, how much walking tree lore was there before Tolkien? I'm not really familiar with that whole concept pre-Tolkien, because I'm pretty sure most of the Ent knockoffs were pretty much directly based on that. Like a lot of things that came out of Tolkien's work. A Twinbur's protective instincts come to the forefront in battle. It will engage in melee immediately using defensive buffs. To draw as much attention to itself and away
Cat with a
from
mouse says,
its
time for me
younger
to snack then sleep.
pack members.
Enjoy your lore dumping.
Alright. We'll see you around then, Cat. I'm gonna try and see if we can get a game together next week. by the way. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try and remember to make a post about that on Discord. I was gonna do that earlier today. I was reading younger on the text here, so that's what I said. But alas, I forgot. Doom scrolling on Twitter too much. It's very distracting. Once comfortably. Its defenses are comfortably high. It will thrash around, hitting as many enemies as possible. While any twumps will surround the opponents and form a wall of what's a good word? To keep them from keep them engaged in melee. All right. Now we can get the next guy, the big guy. All right, let's feed this back into ChatGPT and see what it pops out for ideas.
Through the mists, the path is set. A conjurer's oath, no chance to regret. Vivid veil where the shadows gleam. Under the roof.
They'll probably just come up with basically the same shit it came out with before. Well, let's see. Maybe it'll be something interesting in there that we can riff off of.
Bound by thorns, the forest
Let's see. At Timbers, two heads argue about feeding styles. It literally was the first thing it said in the last one. They've been observed sharing food behaviors with others. Yeah, no. Let's see, select wide open clearings where both heads can independently scan for threats. Their nests often include circles of dug up soil and woven roots, creating a fortified area that smaller twumps and twinbers gather inside for safety. During nesting season, both heads hum in alternating tones, producing resonant vibrations that encourage nearby twumps and twinbers to huddle close, forming a communal grove. Both heads operate simultaneously in battle. That's a given. Let's see. Known to engage in duets where their two heads hum back and forth in rhythmic tones. Sometimes play tug of war with their own limbs. I don't think that really makes any sense. Sometimes the AI just puts out things that sound okay in a language sense. The Timbers often rise as leaders of twump packs. Gee, you don't say. Let's see. Often reshape their environment by creating shaded, defended groves. Other plant creatures treat timbers with reverence. I don't think it understands what I'm talking about for the most part. Alright, we'll wing it. With its second head fully grown and aware, it timbers often seem to be at odds with themselves. At least when both heads are active. For most of the day, they alternate in resting, they alternate functions where one head is alert and active while the other sleeps. They alternate functions every few hours. Since they still need to absorb nutrients, from the soil, they usually don't get around much. Preferring to root in a single spot for most of the day. During their overlapping what's the word I'm looking for? Overlapping periods of consciousness. They have been known to argue with each other. Let's say some have been known to argue with each other. While others are more amicable. The less confrontational pairs often engage in the same humming behaviors of twin birds, creating droning harmonies that echo through the forest. All right. When a timber's pack is threatened, both heads come to life fully aware. Let's see. How fast are these guys exactly? Speed 4. Okay, they're not fast. At all. That's the lowest speed they get. Let's see. They... lumber directly into the midst of their foes. Let's see, what stuff do they have access to at the highest point? Okay, they got Furious Brawl, that's a burst. Melee. Branching Timber, also a blast. Scattered Blades, another blast. Okay, so they're good at blasting things just around them. Or they leverage their mini blast attacks to strike as many enemies as possible. They focus more on personal defense. Leaving their younger kin to defend themselves. Younger pack members will do their best to funnel enemies into the timber. Keeping them in reach of its devastating melee attacks. Let's see, it does have a reasonably high strength. 7? Okay, that's not super high, but pretty good. So that tracks. Alright. I should do this more often on stream. I'm actually getting more stuff done than I usually do when I'm just working on my own time with distractions everywhere. Or I got like 2 whole creature entries worked out in less than an hour. I'm usually not that decisive. Let's see, maybe there's another one I can get a start on. Syllabi is one that I have not done a whole lot with. Alright, let's go ahead and do some for that. Now let's put him up here and get rid of these guys. Where is Syllabi at? There he is. These guys are fairy and water types. Let's see. Syllabi can be unusually friendly for a wild creature. You know what? I'm thinking about these guys probably need to have more features. Oh yeah, its metamorphosis doesn't even have like the main thing written up yet. Now these guys are underdeveloped even in the mechanic sense. They probably should have like the charming feature for one thing. And then their metamorphosis Sirenade is supposed to have like a whole thing that lets it like mind control people. Let's see, they are often found singing let's see, how do we put this? Unusually alluring melodies. Which cause other creatures to seek out their presence and listen. And listen in a mesmerized state. Because of this, syllabize no, not syllabus. Stop auto-correcting me. Syllabize can gather a number of unrelated creatures into their packs. Syllabize can be unusually friendly for a wild creature. They are often found singing unusually alluring melodies which cause other creatures to seek out their presence and listen in a mesmerized state. Because of this, syllabize can gather a number of unrelated creatures into their packs. Who how do we put this? Can gather a number of unrelated creatures into their packs who, let's see. What do we say, like, treat them like celebrities? What's another way of saying that? Who seem to idolize them. These fans will gather food for the syllabi. On their own. Hoping that it will spend more time singing for them. Well, Syllabi isn't very aggressive on its own. The other creatures it attracts can be highly protective of it. Even towards other creatures that they see as competitors for its attention. Alright, time to look at combat stuff. Let's see, they got the Enchanter, the Pressurized class, and the Torrent class. Oh, I hate this. Why does it keep auto-correcting that? Undo that. Syllabis are never at the on the front lines of any battle. They can always count on their allies to take the brunt of any melee while they hang back and rely on ranged powers. Their enchanting songs can be weaponized to daze enemies while allies are left to do the heavy lifting of dealing damage. Dealing and taking. Let's see. If more offense is needed, they can fall back on their water attacks to snipe soft targets from a safe distance. Or push aggressors away and or push melee aggressors away and disengage. You know what? Or push aggressors away and disengage from melee. Alright. That should be pretty good. That's a good start. Let's see, we're at about 3 hours into the stream now. I think that's a pretty good amount of work done. So I think it's about time we wrap it up here. I can actually put these things onto the website if I don't get distracted along the way. So yeah. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Let's see, do we have anybody hanging out? We got a few viewers on Rumble. Maybe we should send a raid someone's way. Let's see, who is going on Rumble?
Success. Hi.
Oh, hello, Sick. You just caught me ending the stream here. Welcome, though. We were working on some lore to end out the stream for my little game here. We're working on Crytures, a Pokemon D&D hybrid, basically. I was just about to call it a night after writing up a couple of new entries. I'm gonna set up a little raid over on Rumble, because I don't think anybody else is really hanging out in the other chats too much. Let's see how we do this. /raid. Alright. Well, thanks for watching, everybody, and coming by and watching me work on my garbage. Here, we'll go ahead and take this off so we can end on the art that I actually did. And we'll go ahead and call it quits here. So thanks for stopping by. Let me get my outro music going. And I will see you next time. We'll be doing another thing next week, same time, same place. Maybe, if we're lucky, we'll have an actual session to play with some other guys, if we can wrangle up enough for a group. So yeah, bye.